Good morning to one and all. Now we are going to speak about the topic functions in C++. Function is a very large topic. So we are going to be see the basic functions in the C++. That is, what are the main functions? What is the function prototype? What will be the function definition? Only the basic things we are going to discuss in this video. And later on, function call, reference, everything will be shown in the next video. So first we can define what is a function, why to use a functions, why we are calling the functions in the programs, what is the advantages of the function. We are going to see everything about this. First, what will be the function? A function is a subprogram that acts on data and often returns a value. So it is like a subprogram. What do you mean by the subprogram? That is, it shortens the code. That is, it decreases the programming code. That is, whatever many complex programs are can be reduced by using the functions. If a complex code is made simpler by using the functions, that's why we call function as a subprogram. That is, it is a short program. So, and it acts on data or it returns the values also. So it is of two types of functions. What it is, built-in functions and user-defined function. What will be the built-in function? Built-in functions are made by the compiler packages. Everything will be in the standard library and it is available by the compiler and can be used in the respective header files. So built-in function, it is like an built-in data types. Built-in data types, it will be designed by the program. It is defined by the program C++, Java, Python, etc. So like this in C++, there are some built-in function, that is already predefined functions. Built-in functions are predefined functions that can be used by the compilers. Next, user-defined function. User-defined function is an created by the user or programmer, that is as per the user requirement or programmer requirement, program wishes, we can create the user-defined functions. Parts of the functions. What are will be the parts of the function? So first, main function, it is a main part. After that will be function prototype declaration. After that we can call a function, then function declaratory, then return statement. These are it's going to be the parts of function. Main function in everything is there. In prototype declaration we are going to declare the protocol, and if we need for the function call we are going to calling a function. We can declare function definition and the return statement. What are all the importance of the function? Why we need to use the function? What is an important? What is the main task of it? In first point, a program may need to repeat the same piece of code at various places. So once we define a functions, that function part can be, it is then reusable. So that the same code can be used at the different places. We cannot repeat the, we no need to repeat the coding and access the program code. So it can be used as a small piece of the functions and the code can be reused, functions can be reused everywhere. Next, it may be required to perform certain tasks repeatedly. Once we created the functions, that task can be repeatedly used in the different parts. Then the program may become very large if functions are not used. So, for example, suppose in calculator program, if we are using the calculation function as the sum, subtraction, multiplication, division, addition, modulo, etc., etc., if we perform the every calculations by using the function like function add, sub, multiply, divide, modulo, increment, decrement, if we use the function, the program code will be a simpler. If we are not using the function, the program code will be exceed to the larger program. This needs the importance of the function. The real reason for using the function is to divide the program into different parts. So while we are using the function, we are dividing the part. That is, first will be the header file, will be the main function calculation part. Another advantages will be Suppose if we are, for example, in calculator program, suppose if you have done any mistakes or logical mistakes or something of errors we made in one part, it can be easily found out if we are using the function. For example, in subtraction, instead of minus, if we have done any calculations program or any errors if we made, while executing the program, we come to know separately. Separately, we can identify the errors by easily if we use the functions while calculating. So, it these are the importance of the functions. What are the advantages of the function? Easier to code. We can write the coding using the functions. It makes the programmer code very easily because we are using the functions. So every tough concept can be easily divided by using the functions. Easier to modify, that is, we can modify the errors easily when we use the function. Easier to maintain, so without error free we can use the data. Maintenance is easy. Reusability. Same function code can be used in the different parts of the program. So it is a reusable. Less programming time. Programming time is very less. Easier to understand. By using the function, the programmer code is easy to understand. Function prototype. What is a function prototype? A function prototype is a declaration of the function that tells the program about the type of value returned by the function, name of the function, number and type of argument. So it is going to tell that what is the function about, what is the type of the function, whether it is an user defined or it is an built-in function, what is the name of the functions, what all the parameters arguments are listed in this. So those are defined by the function prototype. Syntax: return type, function name. Return type, it is going to be any return type. Function name is as per wish, and a parameter list or arguments. So here integer add in bracket arguments, integer comma integer, void add, void it does not returns any value, then integer add float or enter. So inside it, these are the examples. So return type will be integer and function name we are going to give as an add, sub, everything. Inside this parameter list we are going to user defined function. In user defined function, how we are going to do is, first include statement, header file will be, then function prototype we have to declare, then main function. After that we have to define the function. So now we are explaining about the function definition. What is the function definition? What all is going to be the function definition? A set of statements that explains what the function does is called the function definition. So it explains in function what we are going to do. It fully explains about the function. A function definition can be written as, it can be written before the main function or after the main function. So it can be separately written. So what will be the syntax for it? Return type, function name, parameters, and followed by the block of statement. Simple example of the function definition. So what is an example? Integer add in bracket int a comma int b. Integer add in bracket integer a comma integer b, and the block of statement int sum is equal to a plus b, and returns the statement. What will be the integer? Integer will be the return type, any return type, and the function name is an add. It is an our wish, and the parameters. In parameters, what we are doing is declaring the variables what are we are going to use inside the function. So in this function we are going to add two numbers. So we need two variables, integer a comma integer b. So we need two variables a comma b. So this is an function body. In function body, sum is equal to a plus b, return sum. So here function, in function header, what all it is indicating? It is indicating the return type, function name, parameters. Semicolon should be not there in functions. Then this is the function body. In function body, what are we having the calculations part, what we are going to do inside the function, it is written, and function ends with the return statement. Return sum means it returns the sum values. Another explanation, return type function name parameters. So return type, what this indicates the type of value that will be returned by function. It can be the integer, void, so whatever return type it can be different, that what we are getting, it indicates that the what will be the return by the function. It is an, as our fish indicates the name of the function. Parameters, here parameters, what all the function needed parameters arguments we are declaring. This parameters are values that are provided to the function when the function is called. Function categories, so like this only functions will be there. Functions with no return values and no arguments. So function can be without return values and without arguments also it is can be, that is emptily does not returns any value. Void add example, inside also void means it won't return values and there is no arguments also. Next, functions with argument passed and no return values. So here we are passing the arguments, but we are not returning the values. Next, third is functions with no arguments but return values. See, in the above example, it will be that integer we are passing the arguments. Here we are not passing the arguments, so we are telling as an void. Function with arguments and return values. So we are passing the arguments plus returning the values. So these are the function categories. Next, why prototyping? Why we are using this prototyping? Just to see this example. Header file using namespace standard void print. Void print. This is the function name, that is void print means void is a return type. Function name is a print and inside parameter it is an empty list. Then main function integer main, then print. This is the function name with the parameters list. Then we are returning 0. After that again we are calling the function void print. Same function type is void and function name is a print parameter list. So here two even numbers we are printing. So here we are indicating why we are using first function we are defining, then we are using the function and we are adding the parameter list to the function.